Welcome back to the Perfect Pugilist, the Fallout 4 Survival Mode series where taking the crown means taking no prisoners. Let the beatdowns begin. While I do battle with this rocket launcher wielding Annihilator Sentry bot, as a mouthful, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's tuned in. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, click that subscribe button. Leaving comments and likes helps me out with the algorithm, and that keeps the content alive. If you're feeling especially generous, I've got all this content on Patreon for free, and a cheap donation subscription under Master Cat's Games. I'll get a link in the description as soon as I'm able. Kicking off this episode, I thought I would start with this shit can. The top tier variant of the Sentry bot design, it has a few improvements over the standard murder bot. It has a tri-barreled rocket launcher on its right arm, and it comes with a pair of what I assume are back-mounted mortar launchers. I found all the same rules still apply. Stay inside the pocket in front of the Sentry bot, and it will use melee attacks. The mortars will continue to fire though, so there's always a steady drain on health during the fight. Back up when its health reaches 0 because it will explode. Given that I'm level 80, I'm beginning to see a lot of top-tier enemies in the Wasteland, especially south of both Diamond City and downtown Boston. Glowing mongrels in this area are now super tough. This variant has hauntingly yellow eyes and an incredibly large health pool. Where creatures like these used to take a few hits to knock out early in the game, at level 80 each one has become a miniature tank and just soaks up the punishment. I've also come across legendary vampiric bloodbugs, the strongest variant of their kind, and they are no easy target to hit. When I do manage to land a punch, it feels like I'm trying to knock a hole through a steel plate with a wet wad of toilet paper. And like all legendary variants, when the health drops low enough, it mutates. This restores all its lost health and makes it harder to defeat. The mutation also drags out individual fights like this one to absurdly long periods of time. Glowing ones now come in the bloated variant, and they look like they might explode into a puddle of goo at any moment. The real threat isn't their physical damage, it's time. They inflict constant radiation damage, so maximum health quickly reduces in value during the fight until anti-radiation meds are used to clear the buildup. There are still some threats that I approach very carefully. This type of super mutant has a nuclear bomb strapped to his right hand. If I get spotted and I'm too close, he'll set it off, ensuring we both get obliterated. The safest tactic is to sneak attack it from behind and to its left side. Do not hit the right arm or the bomb will go off. If you don't take it out fast enough and it turns around, it'll set the bomb off anyway. I admit, I always get a little pucker factor every time they don't drop after the first hit. The Wasteland baddies aren't the only characters that can take punishment. As I continue to level up, my ever-growing health pool makes me something of a bullet sponge. Fighting raiders like these guys at the Revere Beach Station is becoming child's play. While not the smartest strategy, I can now whimsically stand in the middle of a crowd and soak up the heat from every direction while I decide who's gonna die next. I can also focus on the heaviest hitters like this legendary for longer periods of time under sustained fire. The smarter strategy would be to wipe out the lower level enemies first, but sometimes I like to get a little freaky and have some fun with it. While I continue to hunt this group of raiders to extinction, this is a great time to talk about the perks that got me here. In episode 4, I mentioned the build-a-shelf, scrap-a-shelf mechanic I used to get to level 27 very early on in the game. Each level gives the player 1 perk point, and I found a careful selection of perks is essential to surviving in a world in which all the hostiles do 4 times their normal damage, and I only do about 3/4 of my normal damage. Right off the bat at level 1 I acquired the Savant perk. Each rank of this perk grants a bonus chance for extra XP, so it's worth taking as early as possible, and at every level where an upgrade becomes available. The catch is that intelligence must remain low to allow the bonus to trigger as often as possible. Currently, our Dude Girl Barbie has an intelligence of 2 for a different perk, more on that later, and that's where it's going to stay for quite a while. Clearly, being a pugilist, I upgraded the Iron Fist perk when I could. Each rank not only grants an increase in damage up to 2 times, but it also gives a secondary benefit like increased chance to disarm your opponent. I also took the Toughness perk at the same levels as the Pugilist perk. Each rank grants plus 10 to physical damage resistance, which is an absolute must in this game. 2 perks that I completed right away are the Life Giver and Aqua Girl perks. Life Giver gives a much needed plus 20 HP per rank, and the Aqua Girl perk grants the ability to breathe underwater. This makes bodies of water and rivers relatively safe to use as water highways and as a means of escaping combat. I have found that some enemies like Mirelurks can run along the bottom of shallow waterways, so it's not entirely foolproof, but overall it has served me well. 2 other perks I focused on are the Stealth and Ninja perks. Each rank of the Stealth perk not only improves your odds of remaining undetected while sneaking, but they also prevent you from triggering various types of traps and mines that can one-shot the player. The Ninja perk primarily increases the damage from sneak attacks. While it says there's a time 10 bonus increase, I think this is an error as I've only ever seen a maximum of 4.5 times my normal damage. It's still impressive when stacked with other perks, so I'm not complaining. I was able to put a nice sized dent in Swan's HP during the last episode. Lastly, at the start of the game, I also invested in Radiation Resistance and the Lone Wanderer perk. The Radiation Resistance is obvious, plus 10 per rank, and the Lone Wanderer perk gives distinct advantages at each rank like additional damage, bonuses to physical defense, and an increase of up to 100 pounds of carrying weight. As I progressed through the rest of the game, I began to include other perks that suited my survivalist playstyle. Perks like Better Criticals, Bloody Mess, Rooted, and Black Widow all improve my offensive abilities, and perks like Moving Target, Adamantium Skeleton, and the Solar Powered perks generally improve my defensive abilities. I will admit I made 2 errors during my playthrough, and those led to some of my difficulties fighting enemies with large health pools. Firstly, I invested points into the Lead Belly perk. I thought this would reduce the frequency of some diseases, but I haven't noticed any benefit during my run, so this turned out to be a waste. I cook all or most of the food I eat, and I only drink purified water, so the additional perks from Lead Belly didn't give me any real benefit. Additionally, I spent points on the Ghoulish perk. While it does offer some advantages, I feel like I could still manage without them. Overall, I should have invested these points into the Medic perk. Fully upgraded, this perk dramatically increases the speed of recovery whenever stimpaks are used. I lost many battles not because I couldn't do damage, but because I couldn't recover fast enough to stay in the fight. Well, that's about the extent of where I ended up, with some additional points being allocated to the basic special stats. Overall, my focus there was strength for damage, endurance for health, and agility for many of the perks presented in this video. So that about wraps up the highlights on perks. There'll be some updates in future episodes. For now, let's get back to the reason I was battling these raiders near Revere Beach Station. I needed to clear these goons out to prepare the field of battle for this episode's showcase fight, a Mirelurk Queen. Arguably one of the deadliest opponents in the game, this bathing beauty punches for half to 3/4 of my health, and the constant acid spray makes finding cover essential. Additionally, it constantly launches Mirelurk hatchling eggs everywhere during the fight. The basic strategy here is simple. Keep moving around cover to block the acid spray and provide time for healing. Run in and punch whenever possible, and then back off to recover from any damage taken during that attempt. The hatchlings are a constant nuisance, but at least they give a small amount of XP and some consumable meat. Don't take your eyes off the queen for too long though, as she will continue to seek the paths to run and strike. Now, I spent a lot of time maneuvering around this broken down house to stay alive, so I cut a lot of the fight footage out just to keep things moving along for this episode. Surprisingly, it is possible to stagger a queen. While I'm not completely certain, during this fight I think I landed a critical hit on one of the larger arms, and I might have crippled some legs on one side. Queens aren't much different from hunters or basic Mirelurks when it comes to up-close combat. Kiting around to the side or to the back offers a chance to get an extra swing in, but be prepared to back up as it will spin around quickly and counterattack. Queens also have a ground stomp attack that prevents the players from blocking or attacking for a few seconds. And that's a good time to back off and reset. I will admit my strike timing isn't the best during this fight. I had several running attempts where I swung early and missed. I discovered queens have a really hard time dealing with low-profile obstacles like this log. Moving around a log or fence is an excellent way to slow down a queen and better manage the fight. Much like the behemoth, breaking legs will slow these down. However, it can still lunge forward, so be ready to sidestep a rushing attack. Near the end of the fight, this queen is in rough shape, and she still punches really hard, but there can only be one queen of this beach, and it's time to pass the crown. As the old saying goes, the queen is dead, long live the queen. Let's roll those credits while I bask in the glory of this latest victory. As always, thank you for stopping by and watching until the end. Take care, and I'll see you next time.